Ask yourself, how does your dad know people in DT Dobby, in Simba Colt, in Outer Village, in the automotive industry? Is he in the automotive industry? No, he's not. But I'll tell you. So I quit. I walked. Let's say that day I decided that for the first time, let me walk. This guy is telling me I need to walk. Let me walk. The house. So I walked from Carnival till Langata up Kiba Estate. While I was in the middle of my walk to the house, my dad calls me. Hello? I just saw his phone call, just knew. Ashaambiwa.
Yeah.
Kijana ameacha kazi. So my dad called. I didn't even talk. I'm like, hello, salamu alaikum. Well, he didn't even reply wa alaikum salam. Wewe mvivu, hiyo ni tabia yenu ya Waswahili. Waswahili ni watu wavivu sana. Unafikiri kazi yako utakaa kwa nyumba ya mamako ukule tu pilao? I don't want in my house and everything. So umekataa kazi, you won't stay in my house. So guy went on and on and on. So I didn't go home for like 1 week. I was staying at my pals. Then it was December. I went to Mombasa for holiday at my grandma's and stuff. So I started looking for a job. Like you, I still hate my career. So one of my pal, very close friend.
So wait, just a minute. You said you started looking for jobs. Now, jobs related to...
No, not related to automotive. Not related to automotive. Different jobs. So one of my close friend, born and raised within Langata, is called Alan Matata. He's the first guy to do the first online business in Kenya. He's from the UK. The first company was called Rupu. I don't know if you remember a company called Rupu. For deals, yeah, it was online. After Rupu, the second company which came in Kenya was called Mokality. Then Jumia. So even him still used to be the marketing director at Jumia. So he is the one who started this online marketing companies in Kenya. So he told me he's going to give me a job. I can start in January. My first salary was approximately 18,000. If I get sales, I could earn up to 42,000 a month. So it was nice.
It was commission based?
Basic salary and commission based.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went for the interview. I passed the interview. I started working. I worked there for 3 months.
So this time you've not come back home?
No, I've gone back home.
Yeah.
So me and my dad are not talking.
Oh, you're not talking?
Yeah, I used to stay behind in the SQ. So you always just avoid. You only come in the evening to take your food and go back into your room. So I worked there for 3 months. So I told my dad I'm working in this company or what. Then it's like, those are jobs. That's not a career, that's not work. There is a difference between where I want to set you up, which is a career, where you'll be independent, and these are jobs. If you lose that job today, what will you do as a marketer or a salesperson? But you know, young people you see under your eyelashes. Oni mbele. Watu wanaonaga tu hapa. So I decided, okay then, let me still continue working. So one day my dad calls me and tells me, I've gotten for you a job at a company called Autofine Limited. That is back in 2008, 2009. Autofine. So I went to Autofine.
That was still in Mombasa. You came? No,
I was in Nairobi.
Okay.
So the company Rupu was in Nairobi. It was in Kilimani.
Okay.
It was in Kilimani at Kirichwa. So for 3 months then I went for an interview. My dad was like, please go for this interview. Just go listen to this guy. I've gotten for you a job in your field for automotive, your skill set where you've studied for. So the interview was at 9 o'clock. I went there at 11 purposely. Late 2 hours so that I failed because I loved my job.
So this time you're still doing the online thing?
Online thing, yeah. It was an uptown job, you know. You meet your colleagues or your age mates. Everyone is uptown. Understand? People have gone to the group as in you're working with people of your status. So when I went to this company, it was my first time to go to industrial area. I've never been to industrial area before. For me to get to where the company was, I took like 4 matatus. What? It was in Lunga Lunga. Do you know how far Lunga Lunga is? I had to take 1 matatu from town to City Stadium. No. Number one, I walked till Modhurwa to take a matatu to that place. I was paranoid. That's the time for Kibaki. Everywhere in town unasikia grenade inatupwa na Al-Shabaab and everything. I never used to go even to town. So when I reached there, it was 2 hours late. So the owner of the company is like, "You're late. You're supposed to come at an interview at 9." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm late." Yeah. So what? So have I failed? Because I wanted to fail. So the guy looked at me. Then he told me, "I used to work with your dad at the insurance company. I just used to be a clerk. Now this is my company." So the guy is actually richer than my dad and used to be a clerk at one of the insurance companies. So after I did the interview, he was trying to show me how I can make it in this field and how he can want me to run his company. So he told me, "Your dad had told me you're a technician, a mechanic, but there is a position for a QC as a quality controller. Will you be interested?" I asked him, "What is the salary?" He told me, "I'll give you a basic of 25,000. I'm like, "Okay then, anything so long as I'm not a mechanic, I'll take it."
Okay.
And at least I can be able to face my dad because he wants me to do something in an automotive. So I went back home. I told Dad I've passed the interview and I'm going to be the QC. That's now the start of my career.
So now you quit this other job?
Yes. I resigned. They didn't like it because I was good at my job. I'm a natural salesperson. Hiyo unajua inakujaga na kipaji to convince people and kuzungumza. I liked it. They liked me. It was a good company, but I had to wanted to make my dad happy. Yeah. So I went to Autofine. I started as a QC, quality controller. So you'll ask me, what were you doing as a quality controller there? So before a vehicle is being released to the client, it has to pass through my hands. I have to check the job card, what was done. I have to take the vehicle for road test. I have to make sure all the spare parts were replaced and the vehicle is back to the manufacturer's specification. If there is any defect, I have to write a defect report, send it to the procurement for them to give me a quotation of the spare parts, send it to the client, and convince the client we do the job. I was so good at my job, within 60 days, in 2 months, there was no single repeat job in that company. They promoted me. By the 3rd month they promoted me, they had made me the workshop manager. For Autofine. Autofine was a very big company, one of the biggest 4-star company. It actually used to do better than the dealers. It used to do better than companies like Marshall, Subaru Kenya, because we used to do averagely a turnover of 40 million a month.
So was Autofine that the level of DTW?
No. DTW, for you to be a dealer, you're a 5. You know, I'll explain. Garages are like restaurants. You see, like they can have a 5-star Kempinski restaurant.
Yeah.
So DTW, Simba Colt, Toyota Kenya, 5 stars. Then there is the 4-star. 4-star now, they're like St. Austin's, Autofine, those garages, Toyota, the 4-star garages. Then there is 3-star, 2-star. Mpaka ukienda kwa jua kali ni kama umeenda kwa Bama kukula ile nyama mamtura. So garages are like restaurants. They're usually rated. Which star you eat. So even when you apply for you to be in AA, they usually give you like a 5-star spanner, 4-star spanner. Yeah, it's called a 4 spanner, 3 spanner. It's like the 5-star and 4-star. So, but these guys were doing. They had almost 6 go downs. In industrial area only, they had 3 branches. 3 branches with 4 go downs each. This guy used to do averagely 40 million a month turnover. So you can imagine how many cars were booking a day. He was big. The guy had almost 89, 90 employees. Yeah, owned by one person.
And they saw you are that good that they promoted you on your 3rd month.
Yes.
Okay.
The reason being, I'm a natural QC. I give attention to detail. I'm OCD. So for me to, ukiniambia nitafute makosa kwa gari, it's like, I'm happy to do that. So then I became the workshop manager and I worked there for 1 year. When I was there, I could integrate between DTW, Simba Colts and this company. And I was already in Auto Village. Then I'm like, Auto Village is not doing what this guy is doing. Auto Village, the main job is service, repair, oil change. Auto Village is like an Auto Express. This other person does everything. You do They have a place for service and all that. They have a place for body works and insurance work. So one of my friends called Solomon, he is a sharp guy. He has master's degree in IR, degree in public relation. I hired him when I was in Autofine for him to do for me a business plan.
So at this point now, you've been promoted to the branch?
So the workshop manager.
The workshop manager. Now here you have the powers to hire.
I have, yeah. I used to hire. I used to give salary. I used to fire everything. Yeah. Then at that point, that's the time I started looking life at a different angle. I'm like, if this guy was a clerk and is doing 40 million, why am I sitting here? Number one, I have more brains than him. I am technical. He's not a technical person. Why is this guy doing 40 million? Why can't I do the same? So what I did is I hired somebody to do for me a business plan. This is back 2009. You know when I came to implement my business?
When?
3 years ago. Yeah. I still have it, still in my Gmail.
Yeah.
So what am I saying? Anything you want to do, you have to start planning very early. Very early. It's the same thing, and I've mentioned it to you before. Why is Kenya a corrupt country? Because that's how we've been nurtured by our parents. Not our politician, our parents. When you want to send your kid to the shop and tell your kid, Daddy, the kid is like 6-7 years old, and when you gazeti, the kid will tell you, Dad, I can't. And okay, then I'm going to buy for you a sweet. So he already gets a kickback. So he believes anything he is doing, he has to get something in return. And that's how we are growing. Hata saizi wametokea ma footbridge hapa Kenya. Nobody will ever use a footbridge because all our lives we've been crossing the road like that. So maybe this generation which is coming, because now they've found the footbridge, they'll be using the footbridge. But us, we can never use a footbridge. Ukifika Nyayo pale chini unavuka tu barabara, si ndio? Because we're used to it. You've been passing through that road for the last 30 years and you've been crossing the road. It becomes,
And do you think at this point now, you've said you looked at your boss at that time and you said, wewe unamshinda in terms of the technical skills.
It's not even about that. It's about, you see, when you enter a room, you can tell inside the room who's the smartest, who's the most educated. You can be able to pick. So if I'm sitting in the same room and I know I'm more smarter than this guy in regards to talking, knowledge, how is this guy making 40 million and I'm not making 40 million? Why am I his employee? That's the question I started asking myself. I was like, okay, then I need to set up my company and I can do it better than him. If this guy is running his business this way and is making 40 million, if I do
but
it...
But you didn't try to outshine him in his company. You just kept it to yourself.
It comes naturally. I used to outshine the general manager. So we used to be called to the MD's office. It's like, this guy is complaining, but I know I'm better than him. The GM had done mechanical engineering. When you're going to do engineering, you do mechanical. From mechanical, you do plant, production, or automotive. So automotive is us. Production ni wale wakalasinga. Tukitoa cylinder head kwa gari, tunaenda kuwapelekea, they do the refacing of the cylinder head, or they make bolts and nuts. Yeah, that's production. Plant are the people who work in companies like Mombasa Maize Millers, Pembe. Those big engines, they take care of them in the plants, or EMBL. Those are still engineers. But we're in the same category. I can still fix those engines. It's only that in automotive, we service the engines after mileage. In the plant, in the factories, they service the engines after duration time. Them it's in hours. It's in timely based. Hours it's in mileage based. But oil is the same. Filters. Every engine is an engine. Hata engine ya ndege, si engine zote zinatumia mafuta zinatumia. So long as you have the skill, you can always do it. So I used to have a brawl with the GM because he used to feel again as a threat. that I can take. You see, even in football, if you watch Barcelona, Ronaldinho will leave because he knows Messi is coming through. You can't avoid it. You know he's going to be the best player in the world. You can see it. He can see it.
But don't you think maybe there was a chance that maybe he could influence you or influence the bigger boss to fire you?
That's what he did. Me coming out from Autofine, I was fired. I didn't leave under my own peril. And I didn't do anything wrong. It was at 5 o'clock on a weekday. I'm almost going home. I'm closing my computer. I'm packing my things. Somebody just came and put a termination letter on my table. No questions, no nothing asked. I was like, oh, okay then. I saw it coming. Then I left. I went home and told my dad I've been fired. Why? Like, I don't know. So my dad knew the owner, called. Then it's like, this guy has been having brawl with this person. So we had to choose which one to keep. This other guy is old. He's an engineer. Mustafa only has a diploma. So like, okay then, it's okay. 1 month later, they're calling me, they want me back because the company was failing. They're offering me more money. They're telling me I won't be under the GM, I'll be reporting to the director. I said no.
You declared the job?
Yeah, once bitten, twice shy. Yeah, I said I don't want. So my dad tried to convince me to go back. I was like, no, I don't want to go back. So I was idle for like 1 year.
Jobless.
But that's the time I did the most.
Now, after you've been fired, they tried to recall you, but you declined.
I declined.
At this time, you still have that proposal that the guy had written for you.
Yeah, so that's what I'm coming to. So in Langata, this is the time there was elections. There was election in 2010. Yeah?
2010. Was it
2010 or 2012? 2010. So this time there was elections. So in Langata near Oilibia petrol station, there is a car wash there, a very big car wash. So that was my space. So what happened when I came out, I had in my savings almost 40,000. So I went and registered my business. Yeah. I wanted that space. I went to Nairobi City Council. I wanted to acquire that place. The valuer came. I drew the map. Everything went inspection. Everything I got the space. I wanted to do the work. So my first job, Juakali. When I'm working on the car, I'm going to look for the spare parts. Coming back, the car ilikuwa imebebwa na kanjo. Yes. So I had to call my dad to go bail it out again. So my dad is like, no, we can't do this. Yeah. Any job you do, you have to always have money to give these people. You won't make anything. You're not on this level. You're above. I'm like, but I need to start my own garage, my own company. That's why I studied this. I've done a business plan. It's like, no, you're not ready. You're still too young. That time I was like 23, 24. So I left. I started a restaurant. Tukashikana marafiki pale Langata. Then we started a restaurant in Langata Otiende.
Now here we are coming back to your passion to become a chef.
Now that time chef ilikuwa shanitoka sasa. Shanitoka sana, I'm an entrepreneur now.
Okay.
So tukashikana, tukaanza, kulikuwa na malodgings hapo Otiende. We leased the building. And we had a restaurant, tunapika huko manyama, dry fry, chips, matumbo, nini. We were like 4 or 5 people. I used to earn well. I used to bang almost 36,000 a month, and I used to own 10% of the company. So at the end of the year, we used to divide the dividends. So I worked there for 1 year. Then my dad got for me an interview at Simba Calls. An interview at Simba Calls.
And Simba, you had done I remember your internship
in 2006 after artisan certificate. Yeah.
Okay.
So then I went there to Simba Calls for an interview. So the interview was on mechatronics engineering program, on job training for 2 years. I was going to become a student. It was not work.
Oh.
Yeah. But they're paying you salary. That time they're paying me like 36,800 per month. So, and it was a program for the whole country. So in each and every constituency, county, they're taking 1 student. So I got the luck to be the one taken
From Nairobi.
from Nairobi.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're being trained by the Japanese and Filipinos on mechatronics engineering. Then you do exams. So I want to explain to you how automotive works in the other world, not in Kenya. Automotive works this way. You become a technician. Then from technician, there is technician 1, technician 2. Then after technician 2, there is master technician. After master technician, then you become the engineer. After the engineer, now you become the designer. This is what happened in the plants of production in automotive. If you go work in Mercedes in Germany, or you go work in Toyota in Japan, or Mitsubishi in Japan, so everyone goes through that level. So you'll ask me, what's the difference between technician 1, technician 2, master technician, and an engineer, then a designer? So what happens is, when you get recruited in those companies, you start from scratch. Then you do an exam to become a technician. What a technician done is only assembly and disassembly. Yeah. Then you become a technician 1. Yeah. You can assemble. In technician, kuna watu wa kuassemble na kuna watu wa disassemble. You don't do both. Then in technician 1, you can do everything. You can, and you have to be graded. For you to be a technician 1, you have to know how to do an engine overhaul. And you have to do, in a vehicle, the hardest thing to do is timing. So when you do an engine overhaul, there is something called timing.
So it's like they're putting time for you.
No. Timing is those gears have to alternate from down all the way up for you to crank the engine. And you have to know how to do assembly and disassembly of the brake linings. Those are the hardest thing in a vehicle. Everything else is simple. So once you pass that test, then you're technician 1. Technician 2, you can do both mechanical and electrical. Not like here in Kenya, utasema huyu ni mtu wa stima, huyu ni kawaya, unamtaga kawaya, huyu ni kawaya, huyu ni mechanic, huyu ni mtu wa panel beater, huyu ni spray painter. By the time you're technician 2, believe you me, you know about spray painting, you know about panel beating, you know about wheel alignment, wheel balancing, you know about electrical, you know about basics of diagnosis. Now a master technician, these are people in the factory. I think you've seen it on YouTube or online, when a car is being tested, yeah, at the factory, then it goes and hits a wall.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The person who does that, they're testers. So that car, it's in ruins. Now the master technicians returns that car back to the normal factory's manufacturer's specification. So you have to be good in body, you have to be good in electrical, you have to be good in diagnosis, you have to know everything about a car for you to be a master technician. And when we're in Simba calls, we used to go for competitions for you to be a master technician. We used to hold one in Africa. Then the top people in Africa, they go to Sub-Saharan, which is Africa and Arab Peninsula. Then you go to Europe, whereby they remove something from the car. Then they tell you to diagnose the car, then they time you how many minutes it has taken you for you to diagnose a vehicle.
This training was during this time?
I was at Simba Calls. I was doing a certificate in mechatronics engineering at Simba Calls.
No, this is the second time. You're talking about the second time or the first time?
Second time.
Okay.
First time was just an internship.
Okay. You are not taught all those things, and those Asians, you said they are Asians?
Yeah, they are Japanese from Mitsubishi.
So, but during your first time, they were not there?
No, first time I was just an intern. You're working under a mechanic.
But now this one's a training.
This one now is a training. You're actually, we're in school, we're in class. We used to go to work with a bag. So every day, till noon, we are in class. Afternoon, we're in the workshop. Yeah.
And you're still being paid?
I'm still being paid. Yeah.
Very nice.
Because they want
and how long was this?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you have to do technician 1 and technician 2. Yeah. 1 year. Technician 1 and 2. So when you finish, you get a certificate for mechatronics engineering from Japan. Yeah. So this is where I learned everything in automotive industry. So the question will ask me, Mustafa, I thought you hated this career. Then why did you end up in it? When I was in Autofine, my boss once called me and told me, Mustafa, I think if you only had technical skills, you'll have been gold. You know, as the boss, like when I sit behind it, I can see something in you that you can't see it in yourself. So I was like, okay then, let me go get these technical skills. And with my personality and everything else, let's see how the outcome will be. And don't forget, behind my back, I still have my business plan. And it's still at the back of your head, somewhere here behind. You should never forget, you know, you should have a mission in life. Yeah? It's like somebody who goes to the gym. I want in the next 1 year, I'm 82 kgs. Now I'm starting at 62. So you work on it. Eating protein until you get to that point. So it's the same thing at the back of my head. I still have my business plan. Every day I'm looking at it, and every day I'm modifying it. So after he made it for me, every day I used to call him, Solo, you need to add for me A, B, C, D. You need to. Then I started doing now research. How many garages are there in Langata, in Karen, where is there? Because I wanted to put a garage where at my comfort zone, where I live around. So how much will I charge for minor service this car? This garage, I found out CarMax is charging this, Auto Village is charging this. So my company, I'm going to charge this. Auto mechanic, I understand. So it's a work in progress, and you should always have a target. And it's for you to reach the target.
So now from after Simbacolt, then now is when you started your
No.
After the 2 year.
After the 2 year, after when I entered Simbacolt, my dad was like, Mustafa, you need to go back to school. So my dad went and registered me at Kenya Institute of Management. Okay? Don't forget I failed in KCSE. So I had to start again. From bridging, which is 3 months. We do 3 units. I think it was mathematics, management, and I think English or something. So I passed the bridging, which was 3 months program at Kenya Institute of Management in town, Kim. After that, I went to certificate. So I think certificate, I can't remember. I think certificate was 1 year. I passed my certificate. Then I was doing my diploma. Diploma, it was, I think, 2 years. I mean, there's Diploma 1, it's 6 months. Diploma 1, 6 months. Diploma 2, 6 months. Then you major, because it's in business management. Then the 3rd year, you major in what you want to do. So I majored into project management. Now, I majored into project management. When I was doing my project, my thesis was re-engineering process. That was my topic, re-engineering process of an automotive industry, a case study of Simbacolt. So I want to tell you that the reason I'm giving you this detail to show you that life is a chain. And everything you do, you need to do it for you to meet your target. So I went to the HR in Simbacolt. I told them that my project is going to be about this. So they gave me the authority of doing a case study on Simbacolt, so long as I give them 1 copy. So I did my project, passed. I graduated in 2016 in a diploma in project management. Now, when I was finishing my diploma, I was finishing my mechatronics engineering. Okay? Then I became a technician. I became a technician for like 2 years as a mechanic. So for 1 year, I was moved from Mitsubishi, I was moved to Bavaria, BMW. Simbacolt used to own the franchise of BMW.
Okay.
So I worked there for 1 year. After 1 year, I was moved back to Pajero. Then I worked for Pajero for another like 3-4 months. Then one of the bosses in Simbacolt, he was called Mr. Kaloy. He used to be the manager for lease service division. He took me in, he poached me from being a mechanic Now that's the time I went to management to become a supervisor of the lease service division in Simbacolt. When I was there, the guy liked me so much, and he told me that he's almost retiring, and he wants, when he retires, he take his position as a manager. I'm like, it's not possible. This is Simbacolt. You earn like almost $500,000. How will I come? And me, that time I was earning, I think 60-something thousand. But at my age, it was still a lot because I was not married. No child. I was still staying at home. So it was okay for me. But I didn't have the money because I was paying my school fees.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I always used to be broke because school fees, it used to cost me almost 48,000 a term at Kim.
How old were you at that time?
I was like 28. Yeah. I was like 28. So after 1 year, no, I was like 26. So I was a supervisor for 1 year. Then Mr. Kaloe was promoted to be the branch manager for Simbacolt. Opened a branch for Mahindra and Renault. So he was made the branch manager there to head those units. And true to his word, when he left, and naturally took his position.
Okay, now I understand. Now you're not Simba.
But I was not promoted.
You're not promoted?
No, I took it by force.
Yeah.
I was still wearing an overall. I was in the workshop. So he was promoted. I went and sat in his office. So the workshop manager came and told me, are you insane, Mustafa? Who told you you're sitting at the manager's office? I'm like, but I told them Mr. Kaloe trained me on his job and there is no one to do it. I think I'm the best fit to do it. The guy just told me, just get out of here. You're a mechanic. Go back into the workshop. So he actually demoted me from being a supervisor where Mr. Kaloe put me back to a mechanic in the lease service division. So I worked there for 1 week. Then after 1 week, I'm coming into the office in the morning.
Now when he demotes you, your salary also...
No. Salary, they don't have, managers don't have power. You know, Simbacolt is a 5-star, it's corporate. They don't even have any impact in your salary.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the finance and the HR there they have. Yeah. So he demoted me. Then after 1 week, I'm coming to the office in the morning. I'm being told, stuff we are being called by the workshop manager and the other managers. There's a workshop manager, then there is service manager, there is body shop. So all the managers are calling me. So I'm like, what have I done now? So nikapanda. By that time, I used to hate my job. I was like, I'm gonna quit anytime. I didn't care about it. So nikapanda juu. When I went upstairs, so me sit down. Then I'm seeing the customer service advisor for the lease but next to me. Then they're telling me that this guy is useless. And you're right, Mustafa, you're the only one who can do this job. Now from today, you'll be helping him in the office. So I went and sat in the manager's office.
Oh, you'll be helping him? It's not like he was fired?
No. I'll be helping him. But they didn't tell me I'm the manager. They don't even have the powers to make me a manager. Only the HR or the owner of the company has. Do you know, I was wearing an overall, but I'm in the big office, being brought for coffee, everything. I was the boss with an overall, and I was like 26, the youngest person in the company for 1 year.
And at that time, the people working under you are older than you?
All of them are older than me. All of them are older. I had under me the customer service advisor and like 6 technicians. Lease is what happens is, lease is usually a division in corporate companies in automotive. We used to be most of these companies, they lease their cars, like EABL, they don't own the cars, they lease. Nairobi Bottlers, Coca-Cola, they don't own. L'Oreal, they don't own. This company, Colgate, they don't. Unilever, they don't own, they lease cars. So I used to handle all these cars. Yeah.
And at that time you're 26?
At that time I'm 26. So I was so good at my job, I was called again by the GM. They're telling me, Mustafa, we're going to promote you. We're going to make you in charge of warranties. From tomorrow, I'm talking to the HR, they do for you the letter, we're going to increase your salary and all that. I'm like, no, I didn't want. Because I loved my job. For the first time, I loved what I was doing. Yeah, because I was meeting clients, meeting different people. You know, in any job you do, when you're meeting people, it's fun because you get to do different things, meeting different personalities. Today you meet a big boss, tomorrow you'll meet somebody else. I don't know, interaction compared to when I'm with a car inside my service bay.
Yeah, there's no interaction.
There's no interaction. Wewe kazi yako ni kumwaga oil ama kufanya kitu, gari iende, then you sit there. It's a boring job. It's like, like a watchman, kufungua na kufunga mlango. It becomes boring. So I was promoted. I went and told my dad, I'm not doing this job. My dad was like, no, just do it. So the manager called me, tried to convince me, do you know how big position you being a warranty officer is to a company? Because you'll be dealing directly with overseas. Your job is not local anymore. So I was like, okay, then let me try it. So they set me up, my office, a different place. So my job was to do warranty. I was a warranty officer and product quality control, PQC for the whole country. Yeah. So I'll give you an example. You've bought a car from Simbacles, be it a BMW, Mitsubishi, Mahindra, Fuso truck, Renault. Then it has an engine failure or something of the sort. I'm supposed to do a technical report and report it to Japan. If it's a Mercedes, I report it to Germany and do a technical report and explain why is this engine defective, how was this guy using the car, was it being serviced by us, the dealer, until I claim for him an engine. So they pay us an engine from Japan or Germany, then we give the client a new engine or a new gearbox or any defective part. So that was for warranty. And for the product quality report is, when you're doing warranty, you can be like, this 2010 Mercedes, this C-Class, or this ML, all these cars, I've done like 6-7 cars, they have the same faults. So you do a report to them so that you can recall all the cars and do that. So I did that job for 1 year. It was the most boring job ever. Yeah.